Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So you've probably been wondering, what do I think about the Sean Payton interaction when regarding speaking about Nathaniel Hackett and how the coaching staff really didn't have the best culture set in place for the Denver Broncos in 2022. And I think that the biggest thing is, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't have a filter. And I think that now a lot of people, and I can understand both sides when looking at this. For Sean Payton, he feels as if he's bringing in an iron fist. He has a culture. He's setting guys. There's no more Russell Wilson having his own trainers and practice facilities and all of these things in the locker room. There's no more of that. And I feel like now when he's speaking to these guys in the interview he was in, he's trying to hold up for his guy and back his guy and Russell Wilson as to why that season wasn't everything it would be. And okay, I'm perfectly fine with you saying that's not all Russell Wilson's fault. I'm perfectly fine with that. But as soon as you step into the boundary of Nathaniel Hackett and getting into that, now I'm not saying it wasn't true. It definitely was true that there was not a great culture and coaching staff set in place. Now, I like the Gerald Everett. I like some of the guys, but overall, looking at some of the decision making, some of the things we had teammates, I understand getting fired up. I'm not saying this isn't football, but when we got guys yelling at our QB1, asking him, does he really want to play? I think that's a perfect reflection of culture in that room in Nathaniel Hackett. Now, the biggest thing when Sean Payton rescinded this comment and when he basically apologized for what he said and talking about Nathaniel Hackett, he basically said, I still had my Fox hat on. And understanding that, this is a guy who's been a TV analyst. When he retired from the NFL, he went to that. Now he's back in the NFL. And another thing he alluded to is that he talked about how he speaks to his guys and the morals and values in that new rejuvenated Denver Broncos locker room. And he stepped on that. Stepped into those boundaries as one of the veterans, as one of the real NFL guys who's been there, done that, and now getting back into the flow. He broke his own boundaries. And I like the fact that, because we talk about if you make a mistake or if you do something publicly, the apologization should also be public. And I believe it was public because this is something that has been published. But I don't think there is no taking this back. And what Herm Edwards talked about and some of the other guys I'm looking around the NFL is that when we have the coaching tree or the quote unquote unwritten rules, there's unwritten rules to everything. When you're a coach in the NFL, of course you're hired because the guy before you could no longer do the job or he could not do the job. So now we're bringing in a Sean Payton, and that's not to bash the last coach. That's just saying we think you're better. And understanding that if I'm brought in to do something and they think I'm better, I'm not going to say, okay, the last guy was terrible. That does not necessarily mean that. And understand, Nathaniel Hackett has had success in the NFL. Now, we could all say a lot of that was due to Aaron Rodgers, and now he's back with Rodgers. So when he has success as the OC, it's going to be Rodgers. I feel like that's kind of going to be the narrative there. But still, we can't knock the numbers. We can't knock the success. And now that I just feel that this was really unlike Sean Payton, because Sean Payton is a guy who we look at and he's kind of a role model head coach in the NFL. He's had winning teams. He's built the culture. He basically reestablished football culture in New Orleans, and everything he did with Drew Brees, that whole movement, the whole nine, we love that. And just now, I think is that he's kind of been alone. And then when you come back to the NFL, you kind of forgot some of the things that happened when we're in the NFL. Some of the things that, the unwritten rules like I talked about. And I think that's some of the things that he forgot. But now coming back, like I said, apologizing, basically stating he had his Fox hat on, had the analyst hat on, looking at it from that perspective and all the things he said about Nathaniel Hackett. But I like how the New York Jets handled it. I mean, this is a team who has a lot of things going for them. Hard knocks, Aaron Rodgers, all the things, Robert Saleh. He's still a great head coach, still young in his tenure. So looking at what he's doing and how he responded to that, not only did he hold up for his offensive coordinator, he held up for everybody. And he basically said, if you don't got haters, you ain't doing something right. So understanding that and how they're looking at this approach, they know Nathaniel Hackett. They know he came from the Denver Broncos. They know he did not have success with the Denver Broncos. They know Russell Wilson was not good last year. These are all things that we know. But now coming into it, I want to know what you guys think about this situation. I've let my talk go. And like I said, how I feel about it, I still respect Sean Payton as a head coach. I still respect him as what he brings to a culture of a team, X's and O's, a lot of the things that he does. But kind of the wrong comment right here. And I want to know what you guys think about it is, of course, I think we can all agree that it's the truth, but would you have done that in that situation? Is kind of breaking the unwritten rule. Would you have done that? And if you broke the unwritten rule, is it because it's the truth that you don't think there's anything wrong with that? But like I said, I don't want to decide when right is right and wrong is wrong. I think if something's right, then it's always going to be right. If something's wrong, then it's always going to be wrong. And there's no real, variables in that situation or X factors in that situation. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And right here, I think Sean Payton was wrong.